Hello from Australia. Now, I'm just getting set up. We're not going to start painting for another 10 minutes, but I've just opened up the live so you guys can hook up, see if you can put it in the right place, make sure you can hear me. It's all a bit new to us all, isn't it, this world? My name is Karen Bessel, and they all call me Bess. I've got my Cornish for you on today. I'm wearing my little pasty earrings. And I've got my Cornish flag in the back and a bit of tartan, you'll see, there. And I've got a 2-camera setup. So I'll be talking to you direct here. And then over here, you'll be able to see the painting. So you should be able to see me in your little screen going chat, 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 chat. And then you'll be able to see the big painting. Now, my hubby David is here with me, just setting me up with the iPad, so that I can also have rolling comments. How do you comment? Well, you should be able to see on your Facebook Live an area at the bottom where you can just tap in and ask me questions. Bearing in mind, people, we are 10,000 miles apart and everybody in the world is using the internet. It does take a little bit of time to feed through. So if you get to a point in the painting and you're stuck and you're like, Karen or Bess, just type your comment in and I will see it as I roll through, okay? That said, I obviously want you to comment. I want to know where in Cornwall you are going to join me from. Are you in Bodmin? Are you in Liskeard, St Austell, Redruth, Truro, Helston, St Blasey, Penzance? Where are you coming in from today? Perrin and Worthall, Deep said. So for those of you that have read and heard, I am Cornish. I'm born in Cornwall. My mum and dad, well, my dad now lives up in Devon, but my mum still lives in Cornwall, in Bodmin. And my husband was also from Bodmin. We now live in Brisbane, and we've been in Brisbane for 5 years. Before that, I had 3 years in Bodmin, where I helped set up the WI, the Bodmin Jailbirds, and I absolutely love the WIs. When I came to Australia, I joined the CWA, which is the Country Women's Association. Amazing, just slightly different. And didn't quite float my boat in the same way. I did love it, but the only one that I could get to was in the city, and it just became a bit difficult with the kids in school. But I'm still a big fan of the old WI and love the fact that my mum is on the county board. She obviously is, you know, struggling as you all are, and I understand that. It's so hard. My heart honestly goes out to you in the UK. You're definitely doing it more tough than we are in Australia. We are pretty much flattened out now. And as of this weekend, last weekend, they started to lift the restrictions. So we were allowed to go out as a family. We can now travel within a 50k radius. The borders between the states are still shut, but and internationally, forget it. I don't think I'll be coming home to the UK this side of next year. But they've just said that this weekend for Mother's Day, so it's Mother's Day in England this week, it's Mother's Day in Australia this weekend, and they're just saying that they're going to allow you to have small groups at your home of 10 or less. So things are really starting to move in the right direction. A little bit about me. Well, so I was born in Cornwall. I did my A-levels at Bodmin College, and then I went off to university and did my degree in contemporary art in Nottingham, which I loved. Absolutely loved living in Nottingham. We had fabulous fun, made some amazing friends, missed them heaps, but it was, yeah, great years of our life. Then David and I went down to London for a few years, and we decided to have a very extravagant round-the-world holiday for our honeymoon, got married, left on what we planned to be was a 12-month trip, came back 3 years later. But it was a trip of a lifetime, and obviously we got stuck in Australia. They had the Olympics and the millennium, and it kind of got under our skin. We love the life down here. I hate how far it is away from Europe. That will never change for me, even though we are having the best years of our life. The kids One of my eldest was born in England, but the other two were born in Sydney. And although they definitely identify themselves as Australian now, sorry, Nanny, but I still miss home, of course I do. I miss everything Cornish, for sure. I miss Royal Cornwall Show. I miss Barnacut's pasties. I miss, going down to Marizine Beach. My nana used to live in Penzance. My other nan in Camborne. I've still got all my aunties and uncles in Camborne, Redruth, Truro. And, I miss the West Country. I totally miss it. If you cut me in half, I'm definitely coloured yellow and black through and through. But, slowly, as you can hear from my accent, we've adopted the Australian way. We moved from Sydney, New South Wales up to Queensland, and certainly that is the mix that I've been looking for. So we live in an amazing suburb called The Gap. It is nearest thing to country in a city. So Brisbane is a really kind of kick-back, laid-back city anyway. Kind of it's bigger than Plymouth and Exeter, but it had that kind of feel when we arrived here. And it's just, obviously, the temperature's amazing. The climate's fantastic. The kids have so much outdoor space. So we're super, super lucky. I feel blessed. I do miss Cornwall. And so when I saw how my mum was struggling with lockdown, I just had this crazy idea to come to and say, can I help? I've got a load of friends that are independent business owners. All of us are really my business is closed down, let's be honest. And I think a lot of us have gone into, what do they call it? Hibernation. I don't know. Some of us will come out the other end and pick up again. Others of us might not be so lucky. So, but we have skills to share. We need to keep busy and we need to keep energized, really, to keep us motivated to go forward. So that's where my idea came from. I put it to Mum. So all of the people that you are going to be connecting with over these 12 weeks are all my dear friends. They're either running their businesses here in Australia, all of which I know really well. Some of them, Anya, who is from Go for Fit down in Sydney. She has been my friend for 20 years, bless her. And then likewise, my friends in the UK, Sam Fraser's doing a Keep Fit class. I went to Bodmin College with her. Naomi Burden is doing a fabulous talk about resilience and kind of life after Corona when we come out. And she comes from a healthcare background as a trained radiologist. So she's got heaps and heaps and heaps of experience for that. You'll have an amazing program of stuff. I'm going to be hooking in, and I don't care if it's in the middle of the night. I've already told the kids and David that I am going to be doing these with you. So I can't wait to do Kishi's scrapbooking. I've never done scrapbooking before, so I'm super looking forward to that. What else have we got planned? My twin sister, Claire Farrell, is a bonkers and amazing international professional athlete. She is an Iron Woman. What does that mean? Well, it means that she runs all day, swims all day, and rides bikes all day, pretty much. As you can see, in the physique department, we aren't that the same. However, we have a similar passion for community, and I know Claire's really excited to be coming from Abu Dhabi, and she's going to be doing some chair keep fit. So for those of you that are less able, you'll be able to do that with Claire. Who else can I think of that is coming in? Oh, my good friend and neighbour when I first moved to Brisbane, Tracy Gillies. They've just moved up to the Sunshine Coast. She has got her own independent business now, and she does meditation, well-being coaching, holistic therapies. So that's a really nice, different kind of thing that you might never have tried to do it before. You might be kind of overwhelmed by the thought of what meditation and holistic therapies are. And this is a really good way for you to just try. Have a go. See if you like it. You never know. You might unlock something you never knew you liked. Another beautiful friend of mine, Sarah Powersland, she runs Bodmin Podiatry. Sarah used to be the manager of Bodmin Ladies Netball team. Shout out to them. And I was wing defence. We were in the vets team, and I spent more time rolling around the court than I did actually on my feet. However, I do miss those ladies, and I don't play netball anymore. I had a bit of an injury and now I'm too old. So that's the end of that. Karen Marshall, thank you, David. Karen Marshall is my friend, my new friend in the Gap, and she runs a cookery school here, which I have sampled and done and had brilliant success. 2 weeks ago, I did Karen's curry night. In fact, I'm booked up to do the second curry night. David and I did it as a date night. In fact, the funny story is I actually got the date night wrong because the week before I prepped everything, had it all out on the bench, got the kids pizza, bought them a Netflix movie, set them all up and said, it's date night for mummy and daddy. Jog on downstairs. We're having a little bit of us time. Because when you're in lockdown, there's no us time. And got it all there. And then I was texting Karen saying, well, how do I log on? How do I get onto Zoom? And she went, it's next Friday. Ah, no. So anyway, the Friday later, we repeated the whole thing. I put my chicken in the freezer, so it was fine. I did drink way too much wine. And at one point I went, Karen, where's the garlic and when does the ginger go in? And she went, at the beginning, and this was like way down the cook. But it was fine. It tasted amazing. My food was delicious, so I'm super excited to be joining her for her curry night. Have I missed anybody? Can't think now. Other people will come to me, I'm sure. Perhaps if Mum's on, Pam Selly is my mum. Love her to bits. And perhaps Pam will be able to remind me of anyone that I might have missed. Okay, I am just going to read some of the comments that we've got here. Hello, Joanne in Newquay. Penny in Logan. I don't even know where that is. Where is it? Where's Logan, Penny? Flipping heck, I've been Cornish all my life. I've no idea where that is. Pauline in Jacobstow. Again, no idea. Blimmin' heck. Ah? Camelford, thank you. Carolyn in Truro. Hello everyone, I'm working this morning, so unfortunately won't be able to join you. Helen, don't worry that you're working. I will be saving this after we've done the live, so you'll be able to paint at any time. Or just come on, watch me banter, listen to the chit chat and have a bit of a giggle. Morning Sylvia, morning Pam with my lovely mummy. Roberta says, morning from Trelash. Again, all these places, I don't even know where they are. Where's Trelash? Welcome from the CFWI. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all your hard work putting this on. Sorry I come with a bunch of crazy ideas, but that's me, I'm afraid. Joanna said, would you like some toast and Marmite? Actually, I don't like Marmite. However, if you've seen any of my videos before, you will know that I often refer to myself as Marmite. Because I'm going to get a t-shirt, Bess is Marmite, or something like that. Because, look, I'm loud, I'm a very proud Cornish girl, and I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. If you already have had enough, and I'm too loud for you and I'm too wacky, just turn the sound down, easy, and you can just watch me instead. Not watch me, but watch this screen here. You can watch me doing the painting. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, same as Marmite, or in Australia it's called Vegemite, but I'm okay with that. I have many years made peace with the fact I am what I am, warts and all, and I'm proud of it. And I think that's what all of us should do in life. Whether you're fat, thin, black, white, red, green, auntie, uncle, grey, young, it doesn't matter. You're all what we are, and we should all love each other for that. Okay, who else have we got? Sam Elliott, welcome Sam. Sally Butcher, welcome Sally. We've got Mary from Carbis Bay. Good evening, good evening. I was going to drink wine and then I thought I'd look like the last wino in the world because obviously it's morning for you guys. So I've got a cup of water. I just thought I can't drink wine while you're not having a cup of tea. It'd be too weird. Sally's from Bodmin. We've got Julia from St Agnes. We've got Joanna from down in the back of Redruth and Poole. Thank you. Well, my used to live, my gran and granddad in Camborne. I have family around Redruth and Poole area. Redruth, our county treasurer. Thank you, Mum. Hello, Helen from the Beaches. The Beaches and Cream in Newquay. Well, I do miss a drop of the old Cornish clotted cream. You cannot get Cornish clotted cream over here, people. You can't get any clotted cream. Oh, it's gone upside down, Dave. Oh, there we are. Who else have we got? We've got Sue from Penryn. Elogan is near Portreath. Oh, well, I know. The home of Tahiti. I know Portreath beautifully. Great beach. I think I probably smoked a bit too much wacky backy when I was a kid down there, if I'm not honest. Popping in from Cheshire. Wendy, you're welcome to pop in from Cheshire. Wendy is one of my beautiful friends from when I lived up in Nottingham. Just been saying how much I loved it up there. Her gorgeous husband, David, was my husband's boss. His first job after he left uni. That's however many years ago it is. And Wendy is an amazing artist herself. We've got Sue from Sheffield. Pauline, enjoy some wine, Bess. You've no idea we haven't had our... True. And Kish is here. Kish is our scrapbooker. So welcome, Kish. All right, so we've had some hellos and we know where you're coming from. This is the deal. Okay, let's get cracking, shall we? If you're just watching, please watch. Enjoy it as kind of weird TV. It's going to be a car crash. It usually is. I usually kick the tripod a couple of times, fall over, spill something, and that's kind of the way it is. I am never ever going to be an Instagram pin-up, and I'm okay with that too. However, we're going to do a Cornish tin mine, and I have to say this was requested by Pam Selly, so if you hate the subject matter, you can have a word with her. But we're going to do a Cornish tin mine, and the deal is I obviously want you to be able to paint something in an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours tops. And I've got to assume that most of you are beginners, all right? Let me know on your feed what materials you are using, because I am ready to go with watercolors. I am ready to go with pastels to show you. I am ready to go with felt tip pens and with pencils, okay? In addition to that, I'm going to be painting, on here, I'm going to be painting acrylic. So I have my acrylics already laid out. So if you haven't got your acrylics, please get yourself set up. You will need a water pot. You will need a cloth. So I'm just going to get mine all set up in the way here. You will need a cloth to wipe your brushes on. You'll need a water pot. And obviously get yourself a cup of tea. I'm just going to get my paints up on the table so that I can, right, let me just top up the colours I haven't quite done. Oops. I just finished a class earlier, so I'm just going to top up the colours that I haven't got. Orange, that's the one I'm missing. Beautiful. And black. Awesome. Now, if you are, if this is your first time to painting, please don't be worried, okay? I don't want you to be worried about this. I don't want you to be nervous about it. I don't want you to be full of anxiety or concern and all that sort of stuff. There's no point. This is supposed to be fun. And at the end of the day, you're in your own home, nobody's looking. So if you make a total pig's ear, it doesn't matter, okay? It really doesn't matter. The key thing is you enjoy it. You're doing something different, interesting, fun. You're here with me. I'm a Cornish maid. Got my pasties in my ear. Got my Cornish on here. Got my tartan in the back. Got my Cornish flag flying. Loud and proud with you. So I think if you're ready, you're doing watercolours. We have you on the screen in the bottom corner. That's correct. You should have, Mum, you should have this in the main screen, and you should have me in the bottom corner. Okay, you should see two of us. You should see two bits. So you should be able to see my canvas as the big bit in the centre of the picture. At the end of the day, that's what you're going to want from me. Oh, hang on, what's going on? Just having a bit of a technical refresh here. What's happened to this? Okay, keep talking, David says, keep talking. Oh, I'm here now. Okay, keep talking. So, David's just refreshing the computers. I'm using a palette to do my mixing. If you haven't got a palette, maybe you can put a plate down or just get a piece of paper, just so we can do a bit of blending as we go. I'm not sure kind of what paintbrushes you've got. If you have got more than one, great. If you've only got one, well, let's just work with it. I have painted using a toothbrush I've painted using makeup brushes. So anything's possible, people, okay? Just, I've got here some square ones, a couple of round ones, a skinny one, a fat one, you know, whatever you've got at home, dig it out. If you don't use it, it doesn't matter. If you've only got kids ones, just give it a go, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're back on that one. Sorry, we just had a bit of a toggle woggle there. So you should see me in two screens. I should be here, I'm front on, and then here is where I'm going to be painting. Now this whole setup is brand new to me and my husband, and we've set it up specially for you. And that's so that I can talk to you direct, but you've got a really good image of my painting. And normally, as my mum will know, I'm normally stood in the front of it. So just having a look at these, you've got acrylics, the bottom's frozen, perfect now, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I think we're going to get started, people. So I'm going to hook on over here. You should be able to see me front on as I chat here, and then I'm going to paint here. So you'll see me painting at the side, but you should get a front on view. That's better. Thank you. Mum said, thank you, son-in-law. All right. So if I bend down like this, it's because I'm reading your comments, okay? It's not because, and actually earlier on, my husband said, you need to change that top because people could see down my cleavage. Not a good look, not a good look. All right, let's get started. If you are drawing, if you're using coloured pencils or textures, I suggest you do the drawing part in a pencil, okay? When we paint on canvas, or if you're doing a painting and you're doing it on paper, I always draw using paint. And that's what I'm going to suggest. Anybody who's doing painting today, start off with a small brush. We're going to draw the actual tin line and the composition, which is a fancy word for saying the layout. We're going to draw it before we start painting, okay? All right, you should see at the bottom right-hand corner, you've got a thumbs up, you've got a heart, you've got a cuddle, a laugh, a cry, an anger. You've got all those bits. Small live pick to the left and large pick. Great, perfect, yes. So at any point, you can give me a thumbs up or a heart. Thumbs up means yes, yes, yes. Laughing means ha, 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 my picture's awful. No, it doesn't. Angry means I just can't get it. But anyway, have a play around with those because they're quite fun. And not only I see them, all your friends see them as well. So it makes you feel like, you know, we're all in this together, and that's the point. Connecting. We are connecting. So, give me a thumbs up, everybody, and let me know I'm ready to start because I am ready to go. I've been told to be quiet. Soz. Bit loud. Okay, we're ready to go. Beautiful. So, I'm dipping my small brush. This is my small brush. I'll take it up to the camera for you. I'm dipping my small brush into a bit of blue. There's one thing I will guarantee, get people, there will be plenty of little stories for you tonight. I'll tell you what I'm just going to do. David, could I ask you to turn one of these lights onto the canvas, please? I'm just going to ask David just to turn one of my clip lights onto the canvas. Okay, so I've got quite a large canvas here today. You might have paper, you might be painting on cardboard, all of which is fine, okay? Hi Fern, welcome. You're welcome to watch. All good. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark in our horizon line. I want you to mark, before we do that, I want you to mark a dot on the left, a dot on the right, a dot at the top, and a dot at the bottom. And this marks your halfway points. Your halfway points. At any point you want me to slow down, please say slow down and I will. All right, that's not a problem. Just gonna check that. All right, so we've got our dots. Feel free to chat to each other. If there's somebody that just popped up and you've seen their name, feel free to type, hi, how you going? What's been going on in your town? I know you WI ladies like to chat lots. So if you want to connect with each other while I'm painting, feel free. That's the idea of this. The idea is you're having a little meeting and a bit of a get together as well, okay? All right, so we've done our halfway mark. That's important because we are just going to sink just below our halfway mark to do our horizon. Now, Here's my halfway centre. I'm going to put a dot right in the middle. You put a dot right in the middle of yours and you'll know where your centre point is. We want to go just below the horizon line, probably 2 centimetres, and I'm going to draw a line that goes as far as the centre of my canvas. To draw a line nice and straight, people, it's a bit like playing tennis or a game of golf. Instead of looking at your club or your racket, you look at where you want it to go. Same in painting. So I start here, I'm looking here, and when I'm ready, I'm going to go right across with a blue line. I haven't gone all the way, just halfway across that canvas. So it'd be great to know from you lot, you know, what new things have you tried in lockdown? Let's find out from each other, what new things have you tried in lockdown? I'm going to be trying scrapbooking. That will be the first time I've ever done that. I have also tried some very bizarre Keep Fit classes, which you can tell my physique is not used to it very much, but definitely since lockdown it's got a little bit on that I've drunk too much wine and not moved enough. So hi Holly, welcome. Okay, so this is going to be our sea level in the end, okay? Now, I want to plot in the main feature, which is the wheel coats tin mine. It's going to go in this area here. I want it to be about 3 centimetres from your centre spot and probably 3 centimetres above our centre spot. Okay, I'm going to draw a line and it's going to go from there straight down, about the same depth below. And don't worry if it's a little bit wobbly. At the end of the day, these tin mines have seen better days, as we all know. It's been a long time up there. You've been cooking with celeriac. Well done, Sue. Actually, I like celeriac. It's kind of nice and pasty, isn't it? Tonight I made, for the first time for the kids maybe, I cooked Thai fish cakes using sweet potato, batter fillets. I put celery in there and onions and lots of Thai spice. It was a bit too spicy for Daisy, but they were delicious. Had them with, while I was doing my teaching earlier, I asked Harry to stir fry the vegetables. I did the rice this morning, so we had stir fry veggies and rice. Nice and healthy, it was delicious. Okay, the other side of that, about 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 centimetres wide. We're going to go straight down next to it. Parallel line, straight down next to it. I'm just going to stand in front and make sure they are straight. It's hard when you're painting sideways. Sometimes you get a bit of a leaning Tower of Pisa going on. Okay, once you've done that, we're just going to put a hat on the top of it. Super easy. Triangle without the third line. Triangle without the third line. Zumba Gold via Zoom. Wow. So Mary, when you did Zumba, did you do it in your lounge? Where did you do Zumba? And I would like to second that. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Gail. That's a lovely thing. That's gorgeous. What have we got there? You're from Crowless and Ludgvan. Well, I think, Pam, you would say that you had a bit of history in Ludgvan, didn't you? My mum used to drive around on my dad's motorbike round there, I think, when she was 19. I'll give away all the family secrets. My mum will be devastated. In fact, my dad had a really cool, there's a picture of them in gold helmets, which look pretty cool, actually. Okie dokie. So that is our main tin stack. Now let's put in the chimney. Can you see, if I put my brush along the side, from where the corner bit started, if I go up, that's about how long I want my chimney to be. So that's a really good indication. You don't want it to go right up to the top of your paper or canvas. So the first line, straight down to where the top of the hat is. Now, as we all know, Cornish stacks, chimneys, are thinner at the top and they kind of slowly go out a little bit. So what we want to do is we're going to put a little line across the top, and then we're going to put a spot at the bottom, which is wider, and we're going to try and get there in one go. Remember what I said, we're going to be painting over this, don't matter it's blue, don't worry about that. Wow, Karen, dish the dirt. I will, Sally, don't you worry. I'm loving this already. Ready, in one go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, gone too wide. Nice. Here's a good tip for you. Keep your brush moist. It's the worst word in the English dictionary. Moist conjures up a whole raft of really disgusting things. However, in this case, keeping your brush nice and wet will help it glide as you paint, okay? So keep it nice and moist. I hate that word, but I use it because it gets a giggle usually. I say usually, that's usually when I have a room full of people sipping painting. Obviously, you're on the other side of the word, so to giggle, you'll have to push that little laughter thing for me. And then I know you're laughing. All right, so hey, look, we're starting to look like a painting already. I'm pretty pleased. Okay, people, so you can see that there is a bit of a space between your tin mine and where we finished our blue sea. So we're going to put a bit of a hill there. So we're going to go above the sea line and we're going to just put in a nice hill that goes to about there. So just a rolling bit of gorse moors. And then this, if it went behind the tin stack, it's going to carry on going back the other way. So far, so good, people. If this is a good painting, I might actually put it up in my home. I do have an awful lot of Cornish art, but that's okay. How are you doing, Deeps? David sat as my technical guru. If I stand to one side, you can just see him. Oh, no, you can't. Well, he's the other side. He's hiding. He's not stupid. He's not stupid. He's very clever. He sat here because this is the first time I've streamed live with 2 cameras, got my rig of light in. It's all a bit new to us all. Okay, peeps. The next thing I want you to put in is kind of like the step work. So we're going to go across here, a bit further than your main engine house, and then put a little step and a little step down, and a 3rd step. All right. Don't do anything else. You can put a line across there if you want, but that's all I want you to do. Okay, am I keeping it? Is everybody okay? Everybody keeping up okay? Please let me know if I need to go any slower. I think I'm going okay speed. All right, beautiful. Let's start working on this foreground. This is going to be a fun bit later. So I want to add in one curve. So if I got my hand on a rocking motion like this, and this is the same if you're drawing with pencil. I always do this if I'm doing circles or anything. I'm drawing like this. It's like a pendulum. Make your hand rock before you put the pencil down or before you put your brush down, okay? So, pendulum swing, pendulum swing, pendulum swing. Then I can put it down and I've got a really nice curve, okay? And we're going to play around with the shape of that curve later, but right now we're just laying out and mapping out our composition. There's that word again. So we've got that one curve there. We're going to have another curve here, so I'm getting a pendulum swing and I'm just checking my design and I'm wanting it to go to that corner. So I've kind of gone nice big swoop and over to the far corner. For those of you that know, I am a chatterbox. Oh, Chin Chin, Sylvia, thanks. Kelly, my beautiful friend in the Gap, is having a little look. Kelly, you might quite like this painting. This is right up your street. You're in your lounge. Mary says she was in her lounge doing her Zumba and the postman was entertained. I love that. That's hilarious. That is so fun. Especially if you were if you're in yoga doing downward dog. He would have loved that. He's got your number. He's probably got a little fraternity group of postmen. He's probably messaged out and they're probably all wanting to do your round. That's great. I love that story. Okay, so we've had somebody cooking with celeriac. I'm trying scrapbooking. We've got somebody else doing Zumba in the lounge. What else are you doing that you've never done before? Pam, I know, is doing painting because my mum has never really done any painting and has always said that she is not arty or creative. And do you know what? She has knocked it out the park since she has been on my Sip and Paints, because I do these every single Saturday. I do it. And after the 2 that I do for you in WI, you're welcome to come in and join us any Saturday. So for you guys, it's Saturday morning at 10 AM and I do it Saturday night here. But you're welcome to join us. I had a lady joining from Oregon, USA, someone from Holland, someone from Abu Dhabi. It's been amazing. I mean, connect. All right, so let's pop in the details. We need to do an arch here in our tin mine. So this bit here is the door, so it has the biggest arch. A nice tall arch, please. Then we've got a second one, which is smaller. Then you've got that third one at the top. Just make sure my lines are nice and strong for you so you can see them all. Hopefully you can hear me really well. Who else have we got? We've got Joanna doing, is that yin yoga or jin yoga? I love the idea of jin yoga. You do a headstand with a straw of gin. That'd be awesome. Now, this is the most complex part of the composition, and don't stress too much. Do something similar. If it's a little bit different, doesn't really matter, okay? But we kind of want to do a meandering path that starts wider here. I'm just going to ask David if he'll get me some water. Dave, will you get me some water, please? It starts wider here and it thins up so that here is our vanishing point, which means it disappears. So I'm actually going to start from this point and I'm going to do the line. So and I want the point to kind of meander around the steps and then go out like that. So that's one side. And then the other side, it means it's going to start small there. And then, oh, that's not wide enough. And then get wider. So you get that impression. Now, because I've made a bit of a boo-boo there, I'm just going to wipe it off with my cloth so that you don't draw the wrong bit. So you want it to end up getting smaller in the distance, yeah? That's the idea. Just get a bit more blue. So my curve wasn't very good, that's better. And don't panic if you end up having to rub it out. If you're using pencil, that's why we invented rubbers, so we didn't get stressed out. What are we saying? Hot chocolate for me, beautiful. I've got a gin, although drinking coffee right now, gin's for later. Well done, Ellen. I've got a cup of tea, I've got a cup of water. Now you should end up having those curves sort of are parallel. So I'm just going to edit that curve there because it needs to be less of a swoop. Can you see how that swoop there? Or you have to make that as a bigger curve, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to rub that bit out there. If you're working on canvas and you make a mistake, it's so easy. You just put a bit of water on, and if it's still wet, you just wipe it off like that. Okay, we are nearly at the end of our drawing phase, and then we're going to start to paint and colour. And I'm going to have a bit of a chat. Just please let me know. I need to know how many people, if anyone, is, sorry, I'll come up here. I need to know if anybody's using textures, coloured pencils, or crayons or pastels, because I want to be able to demonstrate the bits. If we're all using paint, then it's super easy. If some ladies are using something else, then I'll demonstrate those bits as we go along, okay? So just leave me a message. If you don't message me, I'll assume you're using paint. If you do message me, that would be yes. All right. So I just want to add in some shapes for some, what's the word? Bushes. Gosh, I forgot that word then. So we're going to have a bit of a bush here. So shape that bush in for me. We're going to have a bush here between these two. And I am not trying to make this real. Our picture of our wheel coats tin mine is a very stylized, modern, contemporary, quite bright painting today. We're going to black line at the end. This is not a realistic painting. This is not a very subtle, gorgeous sunset. This is a very stylistic, modern painting. All right. I have used my inspiration for this painting was Cornish Bird in the Sticks, and from Cornish Bird in the Sticks, I came up with this design, and this is what we're going to be painting. All right. So that's my pencil sketch that I designed, sent to my mum, got the thumbs up, and away we go. All right, so we've got felt pens, we do, and we have felt pens, pencils, colour pencils, pastels, okay. Definitely need to be showing you all of that then, okay? Lots of pencils, lots of colour pencils. Okay, beautiful. So I'm assuming all my pencils and felt pens people are using a regular drawing pencil right now. So you've done your drawing. Great, okay? For those of you that are painting, we are nearly at the stage where we've done that one, that's it. Okay, so that's your drawing done. I'm going to move my paints out the way. And painting people, just take a deep breath, have a cup of tea. I'm just going to talk to the pencil people and the pen people and the pastel people. Okay, so what I want to show you, we are going to start off with our sun in a minute. So I'm going to put this one up here. So this was my design that I did using watercolor pencils actually. So you can see it's got a kind of watery color effect, but then I have actually penciled on top. Then I just photocopied, I did a quick sketch and photocopied, and I've got 3 different versions. So this one here, I've done in pencil, and I'm going to bring it closer so that you guys can see it at home. And it's really to illustrate and demonstrate that you don't have to do paint to do art, okay? You can use anything. So coloured pencils, can you see some of the, trying to get it in that, hang on, I'm going to do one at a time so I can't hold all 3. Coloured pencils, can you see the texture that I've created? It's called cross-hatching, when you actually make your pencils go in different directions. That is how you blend 2 colours together. Now you can use a soft blend, so use the side of the pencil. So if I show you, you can use a soft blend like this, using the side of your pencil, and it's all about pressure. If you press hard, then you will get lots of colour that comes out. If you press softly, you won't get lots of colour that comes out, which means you can layer a second colour on the top. But if you go full tilt to start with, then, so if I show you here, that is saturated colour, that's where I've pressed hard. The yellow is where I've pressed hard, but here I've put yellow and orange on together. So that is how you're going to tackle the technique using pencils. Textures. Sorry, I keep calling them textures. It's taken me 5 years to drop, oh, I should show you, look. Can you see my Cornish tartan bow that I put in my hair for you as well? It's taken me 5 years to drop the word felt pens, and now I'm talking in the word that nobody in England understands. Textures are felt pens in Australia. Okay, here's my felt pens example. So these are the felt pens that I used. Now, when you're blending, obviously you can't really colour on top. Why? Because felt pens are really wet, and the paper will get saturated, and as you put another colour on top, it will rip and shred the paper. So you have to do this, which is basically dots and slashes, where you mix the colour by basically putting one colour and then another colour next to it. It's called optical mixing. Who knew? Well, I knew because I went to art school, but it's called optical mixing. But essentially, you are letting your eyes blend the colours, okay? So that's what you need to do if you are doing felt pens. If you're using oil pastels, chalk pastels, or crayons, you will be able to mix layer and colour together. So you can try with a blend. You can try doing optical mixing, which is like I've just showed with the felt tips. And if you're using oil, you'll also be able to smudge with your hand, with your thumb, because the warmth of your thumb will melt the oil pastel a little bit and you'll be able to blend, okay? As we go, if you get stuck, jot down a question for me as we go, but that's the 3 basic techniques. Okie dokie, let's crack on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark in the sun. If people that have drawn this with a pencil don't want a pencil line in the finished article, then you can rub this out now, and then you'll be able to just use coloured pencil on top. You'll still see your pencil line, but you'll be able to rub out all of your lead pencil line and then it won't show through at the end. So you clean out your brush. I'm going to use a slightly larger round brush now. I'm just going to show you. This is my larger round brush. It's kind of an average size really, but it's not a really small one. I'm going to dip it in the yellow and I'm going to spin my hand here. 1, 2, 3 till I've got a nice circle, and I'm going to drop it down and do a yellow sun. Off you go, peeps. Now I should say, while you're drawing your sun, one thing I expect, please, 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 I'm a bit like a sad busker at Covent Garden, yeah? One thing I ask is please message me and send me your finished piece. Good or bad, I absolutely love to see it. And I love the creativity and the fact that we've done it. So please send it to me at You Create Art at Home. Message me privately, or just drop it in the message on my Facebook or Instagram. They're exactly the same account. Okay, that's one circle. We're going to do a bigger circle around that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and round we go. Don't worry if it's not perfect. That's okay. The world isn't a perfect place, so I'm not too worried about that. So this is going to be our yellow sun, our setting sun. This is going to be orange. Then we're going to do another larger one again. This is going to be a red one. So we're going to start to get our sunset laid out. And we're going to have another one outside of that. This is going to be my pink one, and it should drop into the ocean. So if you've done it the right scale, you should get to yellow, orange, red, pink, and the pink will be the one that goes into the ocean. Any questions? No, we're all good. Beautiful. Everybody okay? Let's start painting then, guys. We're going to paint that first, or colour, or draw, or whatever you're using. We're going to use yellow, and we're going to fill in that one there in yellow. A nice solid colour. Like I said, this is a very modern approach to this painting. So we're not going to go down the route of trying to make an exact, beautiful, amazing life replica of Wheel Coat's Tin Mine. To be honest, you need to do about probably 3 months of painting to get to that. So this instead is a really fun, bright, cheerful, and to be honest, we all need a bit of bright and cheerful, don't we, right now? When you've done your yellow, don't wash your brush, dip it straight in the orange, and we're going to do the next one in orange. You'll find that you've got a bit of yellow on your brush, that's fine. Beautiful. I do stop talking when I'm concentrating. You'll be like, concentrate more, stop talking. I know. It's a bad habit. Sally will know that, won't you, Sal? All those years at the Bodmin Jailbirds. Some of you might remember, my mum will hate me saying this probably. Some of you might remember the first year that the Bodmin Jailbirds were together, and I think they've been together 6 years, 7 years now? 6 years maybe. We entered the Royal Cornwall show, and our show team decided, I can't remember what the theme was. It was something like a picnic, or I can't remember now anyway. But we decided to get very what's he called? Heston Blumenthal. We decided to get very Heston and really mix up our cooking. So we made all of our savoury things taste sweet and all of our sweet things taste savoury. I have to say, we had a hilarious time planning it, but it was a way too... It was a stretch too far, clearly. We got absolutely caned on the judging. Oh dear. I think we got aesthetics. I think we did really well. But in terms of like our flavour combinations and stuff, nah, it wasn't a fun. It was. But that was that set us up for the kind of jailbirds group we are, which is a little bit left of centre. I say we, like I'm still there. I'm not there anymore. But anyway, I still have my jailbird's pinny, my apron, and I still wear it when I'm baking in the kitchen. I did think about wearing it tonight, but I didn't want to get paint on it because it's my kitchen one. Okay, so we've done yellow, we've done orange. Our next colour is red. And I'm aware that if you're using felt tips or coloured pencils, you will be doing it slower than me. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about that, except for, obviously, when I finish this, I will press save on the video and you'll be able to, you know, catch up if you need to, all right? I can't really go any slower, otherwise we'll be here all night. Or all day, and some of you have probably got stuff to do, I'm sure. So in a minute we're going to blend those circles together, which if you're using pencil will be a little bit trickier. You won't be able to. You might be able to scratch other colours over the top. But we want to lay on these colours first, and then we're just going to use our wet brush to go between the colours, and it will just blend them a little bit, soften them. So we've just done our red. I'm not sure if I didn't put my easel a bit high for me actually. Beautiful, washing my brush out, and now I'm going to use pink. And then I'm going to wait for you, and I want some instructions from you. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Let me know if you've got any worries, any problems. Yes, I am painting the side at the same time. So if you're doing a canvas, I am painting the wraparound at the same time, okay? I'm painting the wraparound at the same time. That is a personal thing. Some people like to do it, some people don't like to do it. Your choice. Oh, I've just dipped it in the wrong paint then. I dipped it in purple. Don't want to do that. Hopefully you've got the radio on, you've got Radio Cornwall in the background giving you some tunes. Well done, Mum, for getting this advertised on Radio Cornwall. That was super fun to hear. There's a good plug for the WI. If the WI ever decides to go global, I'm very happy to be an advocate of starting it in Australia, that's for sure. Okay, I'm just going around the top, so I'm just concentrating. You'll see that when I paint, I usually put my little finger out and I drag it on the board down the side, and it just steadies my brush. That's quite a good little tip, that. I mean, obviously you can't do it if the paint is wet the other side, but it just helps to steady your brush, especially as you're going around circles. And you'll see that in order to get a really good coverage, I'm putting my brush down, I'm pushing it, and the bristles spread out, which means that you can push and drag and you get a really nice, smooth application of paint. Whereas if I paint like this, in stabbing motions, it's not smooth, and that's when you can go If you're going outside the lines, that's when you can go outside your lines, okay? So I'm pushing on my brush. The brush is doing all the work for me, and I'm just pulling it through. Okay, let's join these up at the bottom. I feel so short against this canvas. I feel like I need to be on tiptoes. Good job there's not much detail high up, otherwise I think I might have a bit of a problem. Okay, so that's our pink in. Now with my brush, I'm just going between the pink and red slowly and just softening that line. Just softening the blend between the two. I haven't wet the brush, it's just the paint that was already on there. So you just soften the tone, the change of colour between the two. Now I'm going to wash my brush super well. And I'm going to do the same with the yellow and the orange. Just going to paint between the two colours. Over the line. Some of the orange will go on the yellow, some of the yellow will go on the orange, and you get that softening of colour. And then finally we're going to do the red and the orange. I don't need to wash my brush because it's darker than the yellow that I just used. So again, I'm just going to paint round. When I've got too much red, just going to wash it out, and now I'm going to do exactly the same again where that orange and red meet. I might have to get some orange on there. And just soften that blend there. So that's the first bit of our painting done. I'm just going to scooch down and check and see if I've got any messages. Hi Renee, it's a car crash. What's a car crash, Mum? You can't have a car crash, we've only done 3 or 4 colours. Give me a break. Mum, tell me what's the car crash. Yours cannot be a car crash, it can't be. Ren's watching. Hi Ren from the Gap. Pam, Sally, tell me why it's a car crash so I can help. Is everybody keeping up okay? Give me a thumbs up if you're keeping up. Hopefully you are. Hello Claire. Claire Selleck is watching. Claire and I used to work together in London. Beautiful, beautiful person. We had gorgeous fun times together. Laughed a lot, drank a lot, earned a lot of money, spent a lot of money as soon as I had kids. Oh, Royal Cornwall was a car crash. Yes, it was. I thought your painting was. I agree. Well, our Royal Cornwall was a bit of a dog's dinner, but it was so much fun. Oh, I brought something. I was trying to look for my WI badge to wear, but I couldn't. But look, where shall I put you? Here. Look, there's my beautiful pet plate. This is a hand transfer that was given to me as I left Cornwall. So it's an old-fashioned plate, an old vintage plate with a hand transfer on it, done by a local Cornish artist. And the beautiful Jane Smith gave it to me as a leaving present. I love it. So that's my little nod to the Women's Institute. It's now in my art studio. Loved, loved, loved. Okay, so you're all keeping up, so you're happy about that. Let's now do the rest of the sky. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top. Colouring people, felt tip pen people do the same. Well, I'm using a big square brush. Use the biggest brush you've got, and we're going to start off with blue at the top. For those of you that are using felt pens, pastels, coloured pencils, we're going to do blue to about here, and then we're going to start to mix the tone, yeah? So you're going to need to do that kind of feathering effect of the two colours. If you're using felt pens, Pastels, pencils, use this. Doesn't matter if you've got a different colour blue than me, that is absolutely fine. At the end of the day, blue's blue. I'm not fussed about what colour blue you've got what you've got. And in COVID-19, we're all doing, I mean, I did a painting the other day. I made paints for children using corn flour and washing up liquid, and I did a painting with that. It's very possible. You corn flour, washing up liquid, and then food colouring from your baking drawer. So that's what I used. Okay, I want to take this blue down this side. I'm trying to steer clear of the old sun there because we're going to blend into that in a minute. So I want the blue to go here. Go round your tin mine. Mine's a bit dry, so I'm going to add a bit of water to my brush. Got plenty of paint on there, so I'm just going to use the water to push the paint around. Often we don't actually need to get more paint out, we just need to use the water. So you can see I'm not putting any paint on at all. I'm just using the water and I'm dragging it through. Don't worry if it drips, we'll paint over that. I'm going to hold my water pot now and just go down. Oh, that's a big drip. And can you see how I'm getting a bit of a lot, because it's thicker paint at the top, when I come down here it starts to get a bit lighter. That's awesome, rock with that, that's okay. Maybe if you've got two shades of blue in your pencils or your felt pens, you could do a lighter blue at the bottom. So I'm just using my water to push that paint colour around, okay? Just the water, nothing else. I haven't put white on it, it's just water. Okay, and now I want to use the water to come close to the pink circle. So I'm going to go round, round in a sort of circular motion. I'm dripping because I'm obviously upright. Okay, so now I'm at my circle. Now I'm just going to let the wet brush touch the pink. And we're going to let that pink move out and make lilac. So I don't have to paint purple, just the pink and the blue together will create that purple for me. Now, if you're using pencils or textures, you are going to have to add a little bit of purple in yourself. You can cross hatch like I showed you earlier, so cross the colours over, or you can create some space when you're putting in your blue, leave some blue gaps, and then put your purple in after that. Okay, and now at the top of the sky, and I know I'm jumping a bit ahead, but I just want to show you as you're painting, we're going to add the deep purple over the top. And if you were using pens or pencils, you would go over the top of this just to get that darkness of the night sky where the sunset is going into the darkness. So that's why we've got it right at the very top. And that's why I haven't added purple there, because then this part here will really be the darkest part of the painting. And here I'm using lots and different brushes, strokes, so I'm sort of mixing up the strokes to try and create a bit of texture into that sky. And then I'm going to stop and I'm going to see how you're all going. So send me a message if you can break away from your art and let me know if you've got any problems that I might be able to troubleshoot for you. If you're struggling to make the blend at all, or you can't get the right colour, maybe we can talk it out and we can get what you need sorted. I'm just going to add a bit more pink onto my brush because I'm just losing the colour smooth, the colour transition there. So I'm just adding a bit of pink to try and get a bit more, that's it. If you've done anything like me and you've got that ugly bit of brown there, that's when you get blue over red. If you just use a wet brush and paint with a wet brush, it'll lift that colour off. So that's what I'm just doing, because it looked a bit sort of daggy there, didn't it? There's a, oh there, I've just done it again. There's a right Aussie word, daggy. Right, so I've lifted it off and now I'm going to have to put some more red on it to brighten it up again. There we go. Now when I paint these sip and paints, it's done in stages, so we have to kind of let things dry, then we come back, we do another layer, then we come back. So that's kind of where we're going to get to in a minute. We're going to let this sit and dry off, and we're going to start on the landscape below. So let me just see if we've got any messages that I need to go. Got no red. Just do pink then, Sylvia. Don't worry about that. Kish, could I have a look at your colour palette, please? Yes, you may. I've got pink, red, purple, blue and black, yellow. And I'm going to say this to you. The only reason why I've got these colours is because I did a class about however long ago, earlier on, between 3 and 5 for kids. And some of these colours, like that golden brown, was left from that. Orange, green, green. But if I show you the painting, these are the sort of colours that you're going to need. So 2 tones of green, dark green and light green. Pink, a brown colour for the path, blue, and then a sunset. If I hold that, if you want to take a screenshot with your phone of that, that might help you. If you want to do that. I'll hold that like that, and then you guys can take a photograph of it, and it might just give you a bit of help with the composition. Would that be helpful? Sylvia's making a delicious mess. Oh, bless you, Sylvia. At least you're having fun. All right, so hopefully you're able to take a picture of that. I'll just stick that back up so that I can follow it. I'm not keen on that lump of blue there. I've just seen it. See, I'm just when you see things and sometimes you don't like them. Look, I'm just using my flannel and I'm just taking out some of that blue where it's gone into like too much of red. So there's always ways around it. We can always find ways around it. I would say to you, if your water gets really mucky, mine has, I'm just going to go and get some fresh water. So freshen up your water. Okay, back, got fresh water, away we go. All right, we're going to move down and do the water, the sea next. And I want you to find a paler blue than the sky. In fact, I don't want you to do that at all. To start with, I want you to find yellow, and I want you to put yellow here. Then I want you to find orange, And we're going to put orange just next to it. So Keish, I know you're here painting. You're going to be doing the scrapbooking session. If you want to tell the ladies anything that they might need to prepare or remind them about the Facebook page that you've prepared, please drop a note down on the side, because I know you've created a Facebook page for everybody. And obviously, look, it's the first time scrapbooking for me too. So we'll want to get our materials together. So you can see I'm kind of doing a funnel of the colours above, aren't I? So I've done yellow, orange and pink. I'm not going to do red, there's no need, the pink is enough. And then I'm going to do blue. I'm painting my water using the side edge of my brush look. So I'm not doing this, I'm using the side edge of my brush, and it enables me to get that kind of thin line that helps a picture to look like water. You definitely don't want to blend those colours. You just want to let them, you want the colours to go next to each other. Otherwise you'll end up with lots of mushy colour. We're going to let that dry and we'll do the detailing later. But we've just laid in just the colour bits for now. So I've got a bit of yellow, a bit of orange, a bit of pink, going into blue. And that's as much as I'm going to do now. We will come back to our water later on. Hi Amy, haven't seen you in absolutely ages. I hope you're doing well in the West End. Moved away from the Gap, we miss you. Oh, thank you for letting us know from the CFWI. So they've basically said everyone will get the weekly updates with the materials needed. Perfect. Hold in front of the easel. What do you want me to hold in front of the easel, Mum? Would you like me to hold the picture in front of the easel? Tell me what you would like me to do. Bit more detail needed. Not quite sure. All right, hopefully you've done your water. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. Thanks, Pam, says Kish. If you're ready to move on, we will move on. Give me a thumbs up. Ready, ready, ready. Awesome. Okay, we're ready to move on. So we're going to do now I want you to bear in mind that we're going to paint this in stages. So the first thing we're going to do now is paint the undercolour of our hills. Texture people, pastel people, colour pencil people, this is going to be a bit laborious, but we're going to start off with dark green, and our dark green is our back hill, at the back here. Now, I would suggest that if you are using felt tip pens or coloured pencils, I suggest that when you're drawing it, you draw it one way, then the other way. So you create some sort of texture, okay? Don't just colour it like someone in kindy where you just colour it madly in one colour. Try and create some movement in your colouring by moving around the strokes. So colour this way, then colour that way, then colour up here like that, and that will give you some dynamic that otherwise it's quite a flat medium, so you won't have that dynamic otherwise. Painting people, I'm just painting in any direction. This is an undercoat, this is a base layer. All the way down in front onto the right of our tin mine is the green. using the water to push my paint around because I don't want it super, super thick, but I just want that nice dark colour. This is kind of like grass green, isn't it? I know that sounds like a funny thing, but it's not. The other green I've got is more of a bright, just stepping in the side so I can do the wrap on this side. The other green I've got is very much a bright lime green. So this is a deeper grassy green. The green that you get in an English summer's day in August when there's beautiful, bright colours everywhere because of so much rain. Okay, that green is also going to go this side of the path. If you can squeeze your brush in. Beautiful. Now, I want to add, for those of you using textures and coloured pencils, go on top of this, but for those of you that are painting, I'm just adding a bit of blue on top of my green on this side. What you'll end up with is kind of like an emerald green colour. So I'm just mixing it paint on paint. And it doesn't matter which direction you go, because it's all in the background. And you can see I'm just starting to stab with my brush to get some texture. So it leaves a little imprint, a little pattern. And as that dries, it just gives some texture to that background. A little bit more blue and a little bit of blue in the back behind the tin mine. Just on that edge there. So I've literally just added blue onto the green just to give a second tone, and I've just bounced my brush like this just to get a bit of texture on it. I'm not putting blue at the front, but I'm just adding a bit of texture to that bit there. So I'm just, it helps, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it helps to show, well, you should be able to see it on your own canvas, but it creates the imprint of the brush. And for doing grass and plant work, it's really good. Hold in front the palette. Mum says hold my palette in front of the easel. There we go. It's going to drip though, so I've got to be careful. That's my palette. I don't want it to drip, but hopefully you can see that better. Purple, red, pink, white, brown, green, green, orange, gold, which was from the other class, blue and black. I essentially put a piece of colour of each one I had, to be honest. Okay, I want you to now make up a brand new green. So if you've got somewhere that you can mix it on your plate, I want you to mix, I want you to get white, to the white, I want you to add a tiny bit of blue, and you make baby blue, and then I want you to add a bit of yellow, and you should end up with like an aqua teal colour. If it's too yellow, add a touch more blue, and you should end up with a new kind of duck egg blue green colour, which is what we're looking for. And sometimes it's really nice to make your own. If you don't want to make your own and you've got a colour there that you can use that's similar, then help yourself. And this colour is going to be this hill here. So that hill, I'm just colouring in. Again, it's all one tone at this stage. It's a bit like making a cake. You get out your ingredients, you mix them in a bowl, it never looks like anything. You put it in the oven and pray, then you get it out and it's the most amazing thing, tastes amazing. Well, painting is very much like that. It takes a while to get to the point that you think, oh, okay, this is gonna be all right. And we're not quite there yet, we're still in the filling in stage. But we will get there, people, and together we will conquer. Okay, so that's my duck egg blue colour. And then to that, I want to just do exactly the same as I did with the blue over there. I'm just adding some actual green and I'm using my brush and dabbing it on like this. Now, if you're using pencil or felt tip pens, you can draw on some texture. You could use a variety of different techniques. Let me show you some. Just get my pen, my paper. So let's say I have, sorry. Okay, that's the wrong colour for a start. So I'm getting out my green, my first green. I'm going to put my first green on. Like that. I'll bring it close to the camera in a minute. Then I get out a darker green and you can do exactly the same. So you can add a similar technique than we're doing with the brush, but just with a different texture. Felt pen. So I'm going to bring that close to the camera so you can see, for those of you that are doing felt tips. So I've done two colours there as well. And actually, if you're using pencil, it's exactly the same. So it's just a case of, you know, using a darker tone over the lighter tone to create different texture and break up the one tone of colour. Not going to do very much, but just enough to stop it being just flat. Okay, then our front hill here is the brightest green you've got, because obviously that's in the foreground. So we're going to go really bright green here. And we want this picture to be happy. It is a happy picture. In a minute, we're going to have different colour bushes than you would expect. We're going to have a pink bush and a purple bush. So I'm just going to put that green right across the bottom. I think I've got a giant canvas. It's taken forever to paint. Okay, that's my bright green there. Does anybody have any questions, or does anybody need to ask me anything? Looks like everybody's doing okay. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Let me know you're still alive and you are still with us. Good job. Here we go. We've got some action. Beautiful. Thumbs up. Thank goodness. I was going to send out the paramedics to you all in a minute. I was going to say they need some help in praising people. Get them down there. Oh, hooray, hooray. We're all okay. Phew. I want to make sure, I know you're sat at home, it's probably the first time you've painted, it's stressful as anything. You got some balmy lady in Australia giving it large and you're thinking, what have I signed up for? Okay, I am going to paint. This is the weird bit that I love. We're going to paint this bush in the bright pink. You need to trust me on this painting, people, because at the end we're going to put some beautiful black lines and all of it will come together. And I did start off by saying this is not your atypical Cornish tin mine. This is a happy, we're locked in isolation, but we're happy and enjoying our life. This is about, you know, this is the Willy Wonka of tin mines. This is the world that I live in, which is bright colours and craziness. And I love that I do. All right, so I've done that one in pink. And then I want you to do the one behind here in purple. Great, just busy with pencils. I know, pencils do take a long time. Sorry, Roberta, but you're doing amazing. Big up for the pencils. I have to tell you that the finished result with pencils will be beautiful. Have I got a pencil drawing? Here, look, I'll show you a pencil drawing I did last week. I know it's not a very adult topic, but this is a pencil drawing I did with the students last week. Apparently it's a fortnight figure. I don't know. You know me. But it took me ages because obviously the blending on the face took forever. So I understand what it's like when you're doing coloured pencils, but you do get a beautiful finish. So I'm just colouring in that hill there in purple. Sorry, not hill. Bush. And I'm not blending it, it's just pure purple. Just pure purple. Awesome. Once you've done that bush, you can go on to do your path. Now I'm going to do mine in orange. You can do yours in whatever colour you want. Mine is kind of orange and that golden brown colour. Choose whichever colour you would like. Does not have to be a real colour, can be any colour. We need to sometimes step outside our box of what we expect and think, oh yeah, it should be brown. Why should it be brown? Doesn't have to be brown, it can be any colour. We all know it's a path, even though I've got it as orange. Dorothy walked a long way on the yellow brick road after all, and that's one of my favourite films in the world. Should have done it yellow, shouldn't I? Follow the yellow brick road. Concentrating now, look, stop talking. I need a thin brush to get in that tiny bit there. So I'm just going to swap to a thin brush, otherwise I'm not going to get in that little bit here. Sorry peeps, I need my glasses, I can't see. Oh, that's better. Why didn't I put them on before? I've got like 2 pairs of these glasses. I normally wear my bright pink ones. I don't know where they are. They're probably on my work desk at home. But I'm in denial really that I'm getting old. And these glasses are those jobby ones that you get from the, you know, from the chemist. I can't see absolutely anything anywhere else. And I can't really look at anything. But when I'm doing close-up artwork, I need them. I need them. Give me a headache after a while, if I'm honest. But anyway. Pierce. Welcome, welcome. Pastels are very messy. Yeah, they definitely are, my lovely. Wash your hands regularly, and whatever you do, don't blow it around too much because it will get everywhere. But you get beautiful shading. Have I got a pastel picture I can show you? Oh yeah, this one. Again, it's another children's picture because I spend my life predominantly teaching children. And it's another fortnight. Oh, here we are. It's another fortnight character. So that was one of my lessons last week. Apparently, he's made a lava, Harry tells me. And she's pretty cool. I have no idea who these are. I don't even know what the game is. But anyway, I said to Harry, what would the kids like me to draw? And he said, fortnight. Righto. So I had no idea. I was drawing these figures. I had no idea what I was drawing. But I do remember having dust everywhere. Then, of course, you scratch your face and you have half of it on your face. So I had black down here. In fact, Pauline, why not? Give yourself a rub. It's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? It's a bit of a laugh. Okay, I'm just going to add a bit more orange to mine, just because it's not that strong there. Now, guys, you know I love you and you know I am Cornish through and through. But I am literally melting in this rugby top. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to take it off. Because otherwise I might pass out and we'll never finish the picture. I'm boiling! I have got a top on underneath. Oh, I'm so hot. It's not even funny. So, I'm just going to go and get... I thought I'd be very Cornish and wear it, but you know what? This is Queensland. So I'm going to put my smock on instead, which is much cooler. Oh my God, I thought I was going to faint with heat then. I've done my bit. I've still got my pasty earrings and I've still got my Cornish tartan inlet, but I cannot wear that anymore. That is too hot. I'm just going to get some water. Got my fridge in the corner here. Oh, got my fridge in the corner, so I just got myself a little glass of water. Wow, it's all these lights that are on me. I'm boiling. Okay, so let's crack on with our tin mine. Now, I do want to paint this in an undertone of grey. So I'm going to make up white and add a tiny bit of black. So let me show you the kind of tone I'm going for. That tone there. So it's a very light tone. You can always go darker. You can always go darker, but if you go too dark, you can't really pull it back. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more. Yeah, okay, so that kind of colour. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of purple in it, just so that it's not black and white. Grey on its own tends to be a bit flat. So if I add a tiny bit of purple, it's a bit like my Nanny Edwards in Penzance always used to have a blue rinse in her grey hair. It's the same principle. All right, so we're going to paint our tin mine in grey. Solid painting. I didn't make enough grey for mine. I'm going to have to make some more. Hopefully you made enough. Tiny bit of black and then a dodge of purple with it. If you're using pencils or pastels, I would use your grey first and then add the purple tone afterwards. I'm going to paint the steps as well. Okay, I've nearly finished that part. Now, as you know, tin mines have that terracotta cap, don't they? And it's about, well, you see where the point is, it's about from there. So I'm going to paint all underneath in the grey, but then the top is going to have that kind of terracotta capping on top. So paint all the way down. Hopefully now you're starting to paint, you can see that having that little tinge of purple just stops it being that kind of real primary school grey and gives it just a little bit more warmth, actually. Beautiful. Now we want to try and get some sort of curvature to that. So I'm now going to add, to where I made the grey, I'm adding a bit more black and a bit more purple to get a slightly darker tone. And it will look purpley, and that is intentional. And where our blue line was, I want to add a kind of shadow to help it look like that's where the chimney stack goes round. So find your line, and then you're just streaking the brush from one side towards the middle. And it's going to help to give a roundness to your chimney stack because you end up putting a shadow there. Hi Flick, welcome, welcome. Haven't got grey, just 12 basic colours. If you haven't got grey, you can get grey, Pauline, by, sorry Pauline, are you painting or are you pasteling? If you're pasteling, okay, mixing with fingers, haven't got this messy or had this funny things. If you've got a black, use a black, but just don't use so much of it, okay? Because you're pastels, aren't you? So just put a little bit down. You could put pastel on, I don't know, I'm kneeling down so I can read it. You could put pastel on a separate piece of paper and then rub your finger on it and just use some of it that's on there to create the grey colour. Okay, I've now mixed a darker grey again. So black with purple, we're going darker again, and now we're going to paint inside our tin mine. So inside your arches, it's not black, it's dark grey with purple. Or in Pauline's, it's going to be smudge with smudge. I love it. Now you guys know that I'm doing a second sip and paint for the WI, an evening one. If you've enjoyed today, then see if you can ask around, maybe somebody's got some paints that you could borrow. You don't need a canvas at all. You can paint on cardboard, you can paint on wood, something in your garage. And I'm right at the end of the 12 weeks, and actually your lockdown might have been lifted a bit by then. But this one here, look. This is painted on a piece of wood. Yeah, it was a sign that I used for a kid's activity, and I painted a Monet the other day. So this is on my website. You can learn to paint that. Not my website, on my Facebook. And that is literally painted on a piece of wood. So you can paint on anything. This one here is a Vincent van Gogh, and this is painted on a piece of cardboard. That's the Vincent van Gogh poppies, painted on a piece of cardboard, and I painted it with spoons, that's with a fork, that's with my fingers. So you can really, you know, you don't have to be restricted, and you don't have to be an artist to do this and have fun and experiment. Have a good go. All right, I'm going to whip up there and do the top of my chimney stack with a bit of terracotta. And to make my terracotta, I'm kind of going like a light brown with a bit of red, A light brown colour. add a bit of red, and hopefully we'll get some kind of terracotta-y colour. That'll do nicely. So Flick and Mike are my husband's family. Well, they're my family as well, but Mike is my husband's nephew, and they've just had a little baby girl, Seren, who is a little church. Obviously, in lockdown, it's a bit sad that she's just had a little baby and not really getting out with her that much, but it's lovely to see the pictures. She's grown so much already. I think we'll probably end up seeing her when she's about 2 at this rate. All right, so that's my chimney stack. Now, if you've got a small brush, just looking at mine, I'm going to use this one here. We're gonna, using the same colour as the, I've got a small square brush, using the same colour that we use for the chimney stack, we're gonna do the little bricks around the outside. And I'm literally just gonna drag them on. I'm not gonna try and make them, draw them too exact. I'm just gonna drag my brush and let my brush become the brick frame, the brick shape. So I don't claim to turn you into Leonardo da Vinci. That's not what I'm about. And you know what? There's plenty of people that are Instagram beauties, and I'm not one of those either. But I really am about connecting you, helping you try and do something new. I'm going to carry on doing this even after Corona because I've enjoyed it so much. And I just love the fact that, you know, I can teach people all the way around the world. And it's amazing. It's been fantastic. You know, I'm not interested in being a replacement art school. You know, if you want to do highbrow art, then you'll go to art school. Mine is really about allowing the everyday person, inspiring them to have a really good go. So that's kind of my mantra. Okay, inside this tin mine, I've added a bit of black to my grey. So I've got a much darker, it's not jet black, it's still got purple, but I'm just going to put a little bit of black on one side. And in the middle, we're just going to paint it down just a little bit darker. Just so you've got that depth. So if you're using coloured pencils or something, just add another layer of darkness to it. And then with that colour as well, we're going to use that colour to do a kind of base step. And then a ledge on that window and a ledge on that window. And then we'll put in the step lines. And the chimney pot joint. And the top of the stack. Leonora, my beautiful friend from Padstow, all those years ago when we were at Bodmin College together. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Now, can you see, I've just got a really ugly bit there by my chimney stack where the blue isn't coloured in. So I'm just going to colour in that funny little bit that I left. I don't know why I left that little bit. Just get the blue right into the edge there. Okay. Now I want to do some brickwork. I just want to do some brickwork. So I'm going to use the edge of my brush and I'm just going to literally just draw a few lines, nothing much. So you go wherever you want to. You can use a pencil line, you can use a felt tip pen. We just want to illustrate that it's made of stone bricks. So just add in a few little patches of brickwork. Not really strong, it's more of just like a dark grey that I'm doing, just to add in, break up the flatness of it. Few just here and there. And then we're going to leave our chimney, our mine to dry while we go and do some detailing somewhere else. We're going to come back to do some extra stuff later, but we just want to let the base of it, the body of it, dry off a little bit, okay? Leonora and I did art together, actually, didn't we, Lee? I'm pretty sure you did A-level art with me. Might be wrong. We had some fun nights in Padstow, you, me and Anna. Oh my God, we laughed a lot. I miss those days. It's a shame that the May Day was cancelled. Well, everything was being cancelled, isn't it? But I know there's a lot of people that missed out on that. Okay, so that's as much as I'm going to do with my chimney stack right now. We're going to let that dry, and we're going to go back to our sky. This is where we start to put in our finishing touches now. I know it seems like there seems to be lots left to paint, but actually this last bit will go quite quickly. So I've got white on my brush. Obviously, if you've got chalk pastels, you're not going to be able to do this. I've got white on my brush, and I'm just flicking it in that dark bit at the top of the canvas to try and get kind of like tiny stars, star bursting through. Oh, I did a big blob there. Got a bit over enthusiastic. I've got a meteor come through. That up. So I've just got white on my brush. You can do this where you tap it, but it's only at the top of the canvas where the stars are just starting to come out. Okay, it's quite fun, and it just adds that extra layer. You never know where they're going to be, and I like that kind of randomness about it. So that's the top of our painting. We're now going to move down to the bottom, and we're going to do some flowers. I've got a question here. If you send pics of your finished or in progress artworks to, if you all send pics of your finished works to Gmail, we'll get them up. Oh, that'd be amazing. Get them up on the website. Beautiful. That would be amazing. That would be a great idea. Thanks. That would be awesome. Love that. And do you know what's really fun, guys, is take a picture of your setup for me. Send them to the Cornwall Federation WI, but send them to me as well. Put them on my Facebook page. I really want to see how you set up at home. Pauline with the pastels everywhere. Take a photo. Let me see what you look like. And I'll give you, in a minute, once we finish, I'll give you a quick tour round of where I am here, and you can see where we are here. All right, so get yourself a small brush. And we're going to start to do some foreground work. So this is very stylized. We're going to start to put in some cow parsley. So I'm just using dark green. I might add a tiny bit of blue in it just to make it a bit deeper. Try and get the darkest green you can, really, just so it punches out in front of that bright green. And I want you to make some spreads like this, some little group spreads. Just little stick shapes. Don't be too worried about it. And you can put them in any direction you want, people, okay? So you can see mine's bluey green, and I think that's showing up nicely. Is anybody falling behind or anybody worried? Please let me know. And if you've enjoyed this, I would love you to share your pictures. I know you're going to share them with the WI, but please share them on my Facebook page as well. It's at You Create Art at Home, because at the end of the day, this is hopefully what's going to help me re-energize my business after Corona. Life after Corona, don't we all want it to happen? Well, maybe we don't, because here we are. I know we're in lockdown and we're bored, but we're all doing things and we're all trying new things and connecting with new people that, you know, like me, I would have never have done this with you guys, and you kind of don't want it to stop, do you? You kind of don't. I don't think I ever want to go backwards to what I was doing. I'm quite happy actually now doing this. I am now going to be an YouTube sensation. I'd even have a YouTube channel. Who knew? At age 48, you could have a YouTube channel. I thought my kids would think I was barking mad and it was just awful. But actually, they are proud as punch of me. They have been amazing. My 14-year-old son has been editing my videos, putting them up on YouTube. Daisy and Harry, who are 11 and 10, they've been doing TikToks with me. It's been so much fun. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie, I can't wait till lockdown's finished so they actually go back to school. But other than that, it's been amazing. We've had so much fun together. It's been great. It's been really good. Okay, so I've got those basic shapes down there. Hopefully you've put them wherever you want. Honestly, these are just the stems of our cow parsley. And, well, these pink flowers that we're going to draw, they're going to do. So I'm going to pop in my pink flowers first. I'm just going to need a bit more pink. And a bit more white. Okay, so our pink flower, a very stylistic kind, I don't know what this is called. So one of you ladies, come on, you're all into the gardening and horticulture. In fact, Mum might know. You know when you go to the coast and you see all this beautiful bright pink stuff. So when I was looking at, you know, ideas of what I was going to paint, I started looking at many coastal pictures of Cornwall, and they had all of these pink ones. I mean, I know they have gorse and stuff, but they had this beautiful, bright, vibrant pink flower. And I can remember seeing it, and yes, it's like foxglove, but it's not. It's in clumps like this. I don't know what it's called, but I thought, yep, I'm going to use that. So if anybody knows, please share. Kish is saying that looks fantastic. Oh, thank you. You'll share any pictures with me. It's called Thrift. Is it? Didn't even know. That doesn't even sound like a flower, but I will. Mum, I trust you. It's called Thrift. It's a funny name for a flower, isn't it? Okay, so we've done the pink. Now we're going to do the blue. And this is another flower that was on the pictures of the coast that I was looking at. I have no idea what flower this is. But it's like a bright blue cornflower that's almost star-shaped. Perhaps I'll look at the picture a bit better and I'll send it to you and see if you probably all know anyway. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, I went, yeah, I'm having a bit of that. The whole point of this picture was to make it bright and cheerful and easy to do, you know, just big, bold shapes. Mum says it's called valerian. Well, there you go. Thrift or valerian. I love the fact that my mum is on painting with me, 10,000 miles apart. We're hanging out, chewing the fat, and she's teaching me the names of the Cornish flowers. I'm a bit ashamed of the fact I didn't know where some of you lived. I'm sorry about that. That's poor. Very poor. Okay, then here comes the fun bit. You with crayons and pens and stuff, you are not going to be able to do this. But those of you that are using wet paint, you will. If you're using pencils, pastels, or felt tip pens, you'll just have to do circles. But those of you that have fingers, we're going to do our cow parsley with finger painting. Did you ever think, aged whatever you are, I won't tell you, it's a private club. I'm 48. Did you ever think you'd be finger painting? No, I bet you didn't. Well, you are. It's a finger paint time. Woohoo! This is where your postman is going to turn up. Last week you were doing Zumba. This week you're going to be finger painting. He's going to think that's fantastic, I reckon. So we're just finger painting our cow parsley at the front here. I paint with my fingers all the time. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it just shows that anybody can do it. You don't need to have an art degree to paint. You just need a bit of courage, a bit of enthusiasm. Don't be overcritical. Don't try and expect it to be a Mona Lisa. It's never going to be. Neither is mine. Ever, never. But you know what? We can get some fun results. We can get something we're pretty proud of and enjoy it on the way. And that's all that matters, isn't it? That's all that matters, people. You're just having a bit of fun, creating, letting go of your mind, letting go of all that anxiety that you might have had over when we're on lockdown, when will we get out, will my business be still there, whatever it is that you're worried about. You get out your paints and you have a great little time. So there's my cow parsley, which I'm pretty loving. And now I just want to add in some grass on the front. And I'm actually going to start off using purple. I know it sounds crazy. Why would you have purple grass? Well, actually, when you look at really closely at grass is many, many, many colours. It's not just green. And so using contrasting colours, A, helps to give dimension to your picture, adds a bit of warmth, bit of interest. To do it, I'm just putting my paintbrush right at the bottom and I'm stroking upwards. And by flicking upwards, it gives you that really fine tip. And that gives you that grass finish. Now to layer my colours, obviously I've done the purple, and now I'm going to do the dark green. Because the purple actually would be kind of in the shadows. So that's why you start off with the shadows first. And then you add your lighter colour over the top, which is my dark green, which was the colour I did this hill. And then finally, I add some of that really bright green. Hang on, I need to get a bit more. Every time I'm bending down, it's because I'm bending down to my paints. And then we're just going to put some of that really bright green over the top. And it sort of comes over the flowers sometimes in some places. And that bright green, I'm also going to add some patches in front of my pink hill here. Like that. Now, looking good, people. Started to really dry off. So while we let that dry, we're going to go back to the water. Can I have a thumbs up if you're ready to go back to the water? Brilliant cow parsley technique, I know, I love it. Oh, it's called blue flower, scabious. Which is scabious, the pink one or the blue? Oh, the blue flower is called scabious. Thank you for letting me know. Awesomes. You're doing such a great job, everybody. Well done, people. I'm so proud of you. This is brilliant fun. I'm having such a great, haven't even had a glass of wine. I'm having a great day, having a great night. Who knew it was going to be so much fun? Party in the house with Bessel. I often worry about the houses that are the other side of my studio. They must listen to me just rabbiting to myself constantly. Hey, I'm from Bodmin. It's got a lot of history of that, hasn't it? We all know. All right, so let's get back to this water. What I want to do is add, now we've got our white, I just want to add, watch me first. So my brush is horizontal to my canvas, and I just want to drag it across the top and drop just a tiny bit of white, as if it's the kind of like the crashing of the waves. So it's just going to break up the bright colour and just add a tiny bit of essence of, you know, the white foamy water. Don't push your brush too hard, because that will be a mistake. You just want to drag it over the top. And it's only going to be in this bottom area here, okay? Only in that bottom area. Okay, I now want to add some highlights on my tin mine. So where I've got my dark area, I'm now going to do some highlights on my tin mine. So on the the right hand side, I'm going to highlight the inside of the arch, the inside of the arch, and the inside of the arch. And then if you're using pastels, just get a white pastel and just add some highlight on top if you can, and you're not too mushed up. If you're using felt pens, it's a bit tricky to do highlights, so just sit and watch for now. Just going to add a couple of highlights to the steps. And then where my brickwork is, I just add in some highlights between those bricks. So it helps to some of those bricks just to stick forward, as if they're just being caught by the sun. So I'm just adding a little bit of highlight just to my tin stack, my tin mine, and that just help to bring in bright and chirpy. Now, because this one in the background is a gorse bush, I'm just going to add in some little drops of yellow together. So the point of my brush, and I'm just going to put gorse yellow. Dot it wherever you want to. It amazes me. So in Australia, we have native flower floral bunches, you know, and there are, you know, you go to a florist and they're selling bunches of native flowers, which at the end of the day are just bushes and trees and shrubs. And I always think that why don't we do that in England? Because actually gorse is just so fantastic. It's everywhere. And okay, you don't want to hold it in a bouquet like you're getting married, but wouldn't it be fantastic just to have some gorse in a beautiful vase? I'm just going to add some of that yellow just down here to punctuate through the green. If you want to do that as well. It's just a few dots. And finally, I just want to add something else to here. Do I? No, I don't think I do. Okay, let's see what the messages are. Still doing grass. Any tip on adding white to watercolour? What can you do? No, you can't add white to watercolor, but what you could do is add a different tone. So if you've done the chimney and the brickwork in grey, you could add like a pale yellow, and that's enough. And bearing in mind we're doing a sunset anyway, that would be enough to give a highlight. So just thinking around the problem, I would go with a very pale yellow, which means that if you've only got a yellow, so here's my watercolours. If you've only got a bright yellow, then just use quite a bit of water with it to get it nice and soft. And if this is dry, then just add a little bit of yellow over, okay? You can always use watercolours with your fingers, so you can get your finger wet and then you can just kind of rub it on. It rubs on a bit like a pastel, so you could do that. Okay, we are on to the last, I don't even know what the time is. What's the time? 9 o'clock, so we started. So this is 2 hours. Right, we're wrapping it up, people. Get with, get with. I'm going to use my black, although my black has blue and green in it, but that's okay. I'm just going to mix it all together. Did you know black isn't actually a colour anyway? It's just a mixture of colours. So. And what we are going to do now is black line the piece of work. If you're doing watercolour, you might not want to. That's okay. If you don't have to use black, you can always do it in a blue. If you are using felt tip pens, you want to get a nice, good Sharpie. So you want to make sure you've got a good quality black. This is going to suddenly pop it forward. And when I do my black lining, I start at the top and work down. Why? Because I don't want to put my hand in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to black line my horizon. I'm now going to black line this hill here, and I'm going to start at the top of my tin mine. It's a slow process. You might need a fresh cup of tea for this one. But this is what makes it nice and contemporary. Hides a multitude of sins. And because we've used very bright, vibrant colours, this black really helps to take it down. Okay, I'm going to put the chimney pot in again. I'm going to go down the other side. You need a steady hand for this. Don't do what I've just done, which is smush through your cow parsley. That was a bit of an epic fail there, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to do the black line to this side here. And we're going to do this bush here. Around our steps. On our path. Sorry if I'm going in front, but obviously because I'm doing lining, I need to follow the line. I'm concentrating really hard now. You can tell I've stopped talking. Just going around my flowers carefully. Cow parsley, I'm not going around all of it, I'm just adding in a few black lines to add a bit of drama, but I'm not going around the whole shape because I want it to be kind of fluffy. Often I think when you're a beginner artist, everybody tries to copy everything exactly. You know, you'd never think about doing a tin mine and painting the hills purple and pink. And actually, when you do things that are completely, you know, different and dramatic, one, you got less chance of getting it wrong because it's so different that you're just going to go with it anyway. And two, you suddenly realise that actually art isn't as difficult as you think. And you don't have to do, good art isn't necessarily things that look like things. Yes, that is good art, of course it is. But it doesn't mean that bright contemporary art doesn't have an amazing place to cheer you up and look amazing on your wall. So I'm a big advocate of doing paintings like this and teaching paintings like this that allow people the chance to actually realise that it's not this holy grail of an activity, and actually you can have a go. It's not scary. You can use really crazy bright colours and get amazing results. I'm going to come and see if you've got any questions in a minute, but I'm sorry, I'm concentrating. Going to get my glasses on, be helpful, wouldn't it? So just finishing off my last few little black lines here. Okay, nearly done. At the bottom, just going to put some centres in those blue flowers. And I want to add a tiny bit of just blue drag through this yellow now that it's gone dried off. I'm just adding a few little streaks of yellow, of blue, through the coloured area, just to help it look like water, like that. And what else do I need to do? Gonna add in a couple of little flying somethings. In Australia, it would be a bat. Could be bats in Cornwall. Well, there are bats. I mean, this could be a bat. And that's it. That is my painting. Let's see what you're all saying. My flowers look like a 5-year-old did them. Good job. Well, I hope you've had fun, ladies. I've had lots of fun. It's been a great evening. I hope you've enjoyed painting your Cornish tin mine. I think it looks pretty special and pretty bright and pretty cheerful. I'm pretty happy with mine. If you are unhappy with the way it looks, you can always wait for it to dry, and you can colour into it or paint extra later. If you want to try again, you can. I will save this after we finish in a minute, and it will be on my You Create Art at Home under videos. You'll then be able to slow it, pause it, all that sort of stuff, and you can try whenever you want. Like I say, it's been absolutely lovely being with you for these last couple of hours. Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to painting again of an evening one. It will be early doors in the morning for me, but it will be evening for you. So please feel free to have wine, and we'll have lots of fun together. I'm going to do a similar kind of painting. It's going to be a seascape in a similar colour and a similar framework. So then you might want to sit them together. Perhaps if you've done felt tip pens today, you might want to give painting a go next time. Like I say, I would love if you would share all your pictures with me. Please take a photo, just stick it on my Facebook, send it to the Cornwall Federation as well, and please leave me a review, let me know what you think. It's been a lovely evening. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, look after each other, and next time in Cornwall I will definitely come and visit you. All right, bye bye for now, lots of love.